What if the rock you ignored yesterday was worth thousands of dollars? Not gold, not a diamond, just a rock. The problem is, valuable minerals rarely look valuable when they're sitting in the ground. Some are dirty, some are broken, some look exactly like the stones around them, but experienced collectors know what to watch for: color, crystal shape, patterns, host rock, and sometimes one tiny geological detail can change everything. Today, we're counting down 10 rocks and gemstones that can look ordinary in the field, but become remarkably valuable when the right conditions come together. And number 1 has a secret you may never notice until light hits it. Jasper. Jasper doesn't usually announce itself. You find it in a riverbed, among dozens of other stones. Red, brown, yellow, green, sometimes almost completely dull. But Jasper has a trick. Its greatest feature may be hidden inside. Cut the right piece, and a plain-looking rock can reveal bands, swirls, spots, and patterns that resemble miniature landscapes. Geologically, Jasper is a dense, opaque, silica-rich material. Iron-bearing minerals often create its red and brown colors. Other impurities can produce yellow, green, and unusual patterns. It can form when silica-rich fluids replace or fill portions of existing rock. Then erosion does the rest. The host rock breaks down. The resistant jasper survives, and rivers carry it downstream. That's why you can sometimes find colorful jasper far from its original source. The western United States is particularly well known for collectible varieties. But here's the important distinction. Common jasper is not a high-value gemstone. Rough material may be inexpensive. The value rises when the pattern, color, size, locality, and lapidary quality become exceptional. Some specialized collector pieces can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars. But there's no universal price per carat. For jasper, specimen quality matters more than a simple price formula. And that lesson will become even more obvious with number 9. Agate. Here's a better question then. Is this rock valuable? Ask, what's inside it? That question matters with agate. A rounded gray or brown pebble may look completely ordinary, but agate forms in layers. Silica-rich fluids enter cavities in volcanic rock. One layer forms, then another, and another. Tiny changes in chemistry can alter the color and texture. Over geological time, the cavity becomes a natural record of those changes. Cut it across the right direction, and you may see rings, waves, eyes, or intricate patterns that no artist designed. Nature did. Some American agates have become legendary among collectors. Fairburn agate from South Dakota is one example. Montana moss agate is another. And Oregon has produced numerous collectible varieties. Prices are equally variable. Common agate may be inexpensive. Fine lapidary material can be worth considerably more. Rare collector specimens can reach hundreds of dollars or more, depending on pattern, size, locality, and condition. So don't put a price on an agate before you've seen the inside, because the outside can tell you almost nothing. And number 8 takes that deception even further. Chalcedony. Imagine finding a smooth blue stone, slightly translucent, with a waxy surface. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't look like a classic gemstone. But it could be chalcedony. Chalcedony is a microcrystalline silica material. Its microscopic crystals are too small to produce the large crystal faces you see in quartz. Instead, you get a smooth, compact stone, and its varieties can be remarkably different. Carnelian, chrysoprase, blue chalcedony, and fire agate. The geological process usually involves silica-rich fluids moving through cavities and fractures. Slow deposition creates the compact material. Impurities create color. And in some varieties, internal structures interact with light in spectacular ways. Fire agate is especially interesting. It can display flashes of iridescent color that seem to move across the surface as the stone is rotated. That effect is one reason high-quality material is prized. Ordinary chalcedony can be inexpensive. Fine gem-quality material can reach tens of dollars per carat. Rare varieties and exceptional finished stones can go considerably higher. So if you find a smooth-colored stone, don't ask whether it sparkles. Ask whether it transmits light, and whether something unusual happens when you rotate it. Because sometimes, the absence of sparkle is the clue. Fluorite. Fluorite can look almost too simple. A purple cube, a green crystal, a transparent fragment. But its geometry is the giveaway. Fluorite commonly forms cubic crystals. Sometimes the cubes are so sharply defined, they look manufactured. They aren't. They grew underground. Fluorite commonly forms from mineral-rich fluids, moving through fractures and cavities. As temperature and chemistry change, fluorite precipitates, layer by layer, crystal by crystal. And some specimens record those changes through dramatic color zoning. Purple beside clear, green beside violet. One crystal, several colors. Unlike gemstones normally sold by the carat, collector fluorite is often priced by the specimen. Small pieces may sell for roughly $10 to $50. Good display specimens can reach $50 to $250. Exceptional examples can reach $1,000 or more, depending on locality, crystal quality, size, color, and condition. Those figures should be treated as collector market examples, not fixed mineral prices. And that's important, because the next stone shows how dramatically the same mineral family can change in value. Garnet. Most people picture a red gemstone, but garnet isn't one mineral. It's a mineral group, and some varieties are green, orange, pink, even color-changing. Garnet can also tell geologists something valuable, where it formed. Metamorphic rocks are changed by heat and pressure. As those conditions alter the original minerals, garnet can grow. Its chemistry can preserve information about the temperature and pressure conditions deep inside the earth. Then, erosion releases the crystals. Streams carry them away. And because garnet is relatively durable, it can survive the journey. But the real surprise is the price difference. Common red garnet can be affordable. Rare varieties are another story. Savorite can display intense green. Demantoid can show remarkable brilliance. And exceptional color change garnet is extraordinarily rare. Historical examples of exceptional color change garnet have reached extremely high prices, including reports of more than $1 million per carat for extraordinary material. That is an extreme outlier, not the normal market. For ordinary garnet, think tens of dollars per carat. For rare gem varieties, think hundreds or thousands, and in exceptional cases, far more. Now we're entering a mineral family that contains one of the world's most famous gemstones, Beryl. Beryl has a secret identity. Actually, several. Emerald, aquamarine, morganite, heliodor, all beryl. The basic mineral is beryllium aluminum silicate. Trace elements change its color. Iron can contribute to aquamarine's blue. Chromium or vanadium can produce emerald's green. Manganese can create pink morganite. Beryl commonly grows in granitic pegmatites. These are unusual igneous environments where the final mineral-rich fluids can produce enormous crystals. That's why pegmatites are important places for mineral collectors. And there is a practical field clue. Look for a six-sided crystal, then examine its transparency, its color, its host rock, and the minerals around it. A crystal that fits several of those clues deserves closer examination. But here's where the economics become dramatic. Ordinary beryl may be inexpensive. Fine aquamarine can be worth hundreds of dollars per carat. Emerald can be vastly more valuable. Exceptional emeralds can reach tens of thousands of dollars per carat, with extraordinary stones sometimes exceeding $100,000 per carat. Those top prices are reserved for exceptional material, not ordinary emerald. And that distinction matters, because the next stone has one of the most dramatic color stories in the gemstone world. Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a master of disguise. A black crystal can look like a piece of ordinary rock, but the same mineral family can produce pink, green, red, blue, and spectacular combinations of several colors. Tourmaline commonly occurs in granitic pegmatites. These environments concentrate unusual elements during the final stages of magma crystallization. That chemistry allows large crystals to grow, and sometimes the crystal changes color as it grows. One zone becomes green, another becomes pink. The result is a natural geological gradient frozen inside a single crystal. But one variety changed the gemstone market forever. Paraiba tourmaline. Its intense blue to green colors are associated with copper-bearing chemistry, and fine material is exceptionally scarce. Current market guides commonly place fine Paraiba-type tourmaline in the thousands of dollars per carat, with exceptional stones reaching $10,000 plus per carat, and potentially higher, depending on quality, origin, size, and treatment. That is why identification matters. A blue-green tourmaline is not automatically Paraiba. Color alone isn't enough. Composition and origin may require laboratory testing. So if you ever encounter an unusually vivid blue-green crystal, don't guess. Test it, because the next stone is even more famous. Corundum. Two legendary gemstones come from one mineral, ruby and sapphire. That mineral is corundum. Pure corundum is colorless. Trace elements create the colors. Chromium produces ruby's red. Other elements can produce blue, yellow, pink, and other sapphire colors. Corundum forms under geological conditions where aluminum oxide can crystallize. Certain metamorphic environments provide those conditions. Weathering can then release the crystals, and streams can transport them. So, a rough corundum crystal may look nothing like the polished gemstone it could become. But here's the warning. A blue crystal is not automatically sapphire. A red crystal is not automatically ruby. Identification requires more than color. Hardness, crystal structure, inclusions, host rock, chemistry, and, for valuable material, professional testing. The price range is enormous. Fine sapphires can sell for thousands of dollars per carat. Exceptional examples from famous origins can reach tens of thousands. The finest rare sapphires have achieved well over $100,000 per carat. Ruby can go even further. Exceptional rubies have crossed the $1 million per carat level at auction. But those are extraordinary stones, not normal specimens. And that brings us to number one. A gemstone whose value can be hiding in a phenomenon you can see with your own eyes. Opal. Opal doesn't need a perfect crystal. It doesn't need sharp edges. It doesn't even need to sparkle. It needs light. Turn the right opal, and the stone comes alive. Red, orange, green, blue. Colors moving across the surface as the angle changes. That phenomenon is called play of color, and it comes from the microscopic structure of precious opal. Silica-rich water moves through rock. It enters cracks and cavities. The water gradually evaporates. Silica remains. Over long periods, those deposits form opal. Some rough opal looks like ordinary brown or gray rock, especially before it is cleaned or cut. That's why opal hunting can be so deceptive. The best material may not reveal itself immediately. Australia remains one of the world's most famous opal sources. Nevada is an important source of American black opal, and Ethiopian opal has become a major gemstone material in the modern market. But the value range is enormous. Common opal can be inexpensive. Fine, precious opal can reach hundreds or thousands of dollars per carat. Exceptional black opal can reach $10,000 plus per carat, depending on brightness, body tone, pattern, color, size, and quality. And again, that is the exceptional end. Not every black opal is worth that. That's the point. The word opal doesn't create the value. The individual stone does. A weak play of color, low brightness, or an unattractive pattern can mean modest value. But intense color, a dark body tone, a desirable pattern, and exceptional brightness can transform the stone. And that's why opal takes number one. Because sometimes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is nothing more than the way light moves across the surface. And here's the part most people don't realize. The 10 stones in this video aren't the only valuable minerals hiding in plain sight. There are rocks that can reveal the presence of gold, rocks that can point toward gemstones, and minerals that can tell you you're standing inside an ancient hydrothermal system. Some of them look even less valuable than the stones you've seen today. Subscribe to Pro Gems, because in the next video, we're going after the rocks that can give away what's hiding underground, and one of them may be sitting beneath your feet right now.